Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Fabric Fridays with me, Mary Morningstar Johnson from Ruby and Violet Designs. Make sure that you stay tuned until the end of the episode because I will be doing a drawing for the table runner that I showcased last week when I talked about the spooky and sweet fabric from Art Gallery Fabrics. So I should probably let you guys know one fun fact about myself, and that is that I do love Disney. And I didn't actually go to Disney World until I was 27 years old. And my husband and his family are really big Disney fans, and we took my oldest to Disney when she was 2, and then we went again when she was 4, and our youngest one was almost 2, and we just have the best time when we go. And I just thought that I would share that about myself because it leads me into the fabric that I'm talking to you about this week, and that is a Minnie Mouse fabric, Dreaming in Dots. I am going to be talking about the pink version. There is also a red version, and it is made by Camelot Fabrics, which is a division of Eugene Textiles, a company who is located in Montreal, Quebec. I've been showing some really bright and colorful fabric. This is definitely only just a couple of colors, pink, black, gold, white, gray. So a lot of shades and then just a little bit of pink and gold. So anyway, I hope that you enjoy, and I am in the process of making a quilt for my oldest daughter. We're going to be redoing her bedroom, and I tend to like to decorate in not monochromatic, but a little bit more muted color palette, which is odd because I'm very attracted to very colorful color palettes. So anyway, I'm very excited about this fabric and I hope you enjoy it. A couple of years ago, my husband and I, we went to the Paducah Quilt Show. It's the Academy Awards of Quilts, and it's a wonderful show. I've been a couple of times and never been disappointed. And they have a vendor section, and in the vendor section, the Missouri Star Quilt Company was at the show, and we browsed through their store, and they were selling, they're of course known for selling pre-cuts. And so anyway, we found a 10-inch by 10-inch pre-cut of this Minnie Mouse fabric, and my daughter Ruby was, I think, a baby. Anyway, we bought it with her in mind, and so I knew at some point I was going to make a quilt for her. And I thought that it was only fitting that I look through the YouTube tutorials on Missouri Star Quilt Company and try to find a good pattern to use for her quilt. I developed a different way that I wanted to do the corners with a miter. Susan Cleveland really got me over the whole Y-seam mitering a corner with her Marvelous Miters book. And so I wanted to miter the corners, and you'll see why. But here is one of the pieces of the fabric, and it's going to be a little difficult to see the gold. You can see probably that it shimmers, but you can see the really vibrant Minnie Mouse design on this. And there's this one. And here's a gray version of that first one that I showed you. And so you can see it's a little bit more scaled back as far as color goes than some of the other fabrics that I've been showing. And so here are a couple of the blocks that I had done. So I sewed this piece, and then I sewed a long piece, and then what you do is you put them right sides together and you cut at a diagonal, or sorry, you put them right sides together, you sew along 1/4 inch from each side of the diagonal, and then you cut up the middle and then sew those two sections together so that you get this. So you can see I have my two different blocks and then basically sewed them up on the diagonal. And it looks fine, but you can see right here, there's an extra little seam right there from where I had cut it after I had sewn on the borders. And being the perfectionist that I am, I don't really care for that seam right there. So, and here's another example of what can happen. You can get a box on that edge, and from far away, you can't really tell, but looking close up, you can see that that seam. And so anyway, I thought, I couldn't handle it with my OCD. So, so I cut out all of my fabrics. You can see there's cute bows, and here's some more of the gray. And you can see Minnie Mouse, overall Minnie Mouse, and then this is probably my favorite print in the collection, the bigger dots with Minnie, and then the Minnie signature. And so what I did is I took those and then I sewed those together. So then after I get those sewn together, and I took a piece that was long enough that I had enough on the corners that I could sew up and miter the corner so that all of the corners were mitered and lined up and there were no extra seams within the border. The downside to that is that it definitely takes a lot more time. The way that Missouri Star Quilt Company showed is definitely quicker. You just do all of your borders, and I liked the duo border idea. But for myself personally, I just wanted to have those corners mitered, so I altered it a little bit. And so this was what I got. And you can see each corner is mitered. And these are a couple more of the fabrics, and I love the light pink. And I really do love this leopard print where they put in the little Minnie Mouse head in the leopard print. And then again, the double border. So I don't have the entire quilt done. When I get it done, I will be sure to display it on my YouTube video for that week. But I more or less wanted to show that it's okay if you are working with your fabrics and you're following a pattern and you want to alter that pattern a little bit. It's your quilt. You do what you want to that quilt and you get it to look the way that you want it to look. And patterns are out there to get you started. Therefore, those who just, you know, you can follow it perfectly, you can alter it. If you're making a garment and you need the hips bigger or the shoulders bigger or the sleeve longer, that's the nice thing about patterns, is that they're there as a template and then you can adjust them as needed. And so that's what I did. I just adjusted it to fit the way that I wanted it to look. I also wanted to mention about my border fabrics on the blocks themselves, and that fabric was not part of the Minnie Mouse collection. Those were just basics that I bought at a local quilt shop in Evansville, Indiana. It's called Let's Sew, and If you are near the Evansville area and you haven't shopped at Let's Sew, I definitely recommend checking out their shop. They have a lot of sewing machines, a lot of notions, and then of course a lot of fabric. And they have apparel fabric and quilting fabric both. They also have a large selection online. They ship really quickly, and they always leave you a nice little note in your package. It's a smaller quilt shop, and I love shopping there. I like that small feel to the quilt shop. And so anyway, I went there to get my border fabrics for the Minnie Mouse fabric, and they have, like I said, a great selection. So this is a pink dot, and you can see kind of, if I turn it, it's got, the little dots have a little bit of a sheer texture to them, so they don't stand out a lot. I have some more subtle fabrics in that collection that I wanted not a solid, I wanted to still follow that polka dot theme, so this was the perfect option for that. And then they had a little bit bigger gold and black dot, and I loved it. Of course I had to get that one. And then a white and smaller, more like a dotted Swiss polka dot, and then just a regular white and black, and then the opposite, black and white. This one, it's not an exact polka dot, it's a little bit more off, but I liked the little bit different character in this black and white polka dot. So altogether, I think that it looks really cute together. And so now the moment you've all been waiting for, and this is to draw the winner for the table runner from my last video. And it was a table runner with fabric from the Spooky and Sweet collection with Art Gallery Fabrics. And I cut up, put everybody's names in here, and this was if you liked, subscribed, followed me on Instagram, followed me on Facebook, commented. So I just put everybody in for an entry. So let's see. And I'm twirling them around in here so that it is not a fixed drawing. All right. And I'm going to draw 2 runners up just in case, so that I have that on video. Just in case I can't get a hold of the first person, because there were definitely several people that I didn't know. Okay, so single. So for the winner, Kyle Purple, you're the winner of the quilt. So let me just pick 2 others just in case. Altagracia Crafts, you are the 2nd place winner. And if I can't get a hold of either of them, the Back Porch Stitcher is going to win. So thank you guys so much for participating in my table runner giveaway, and I'm hoping to do more giveaways in the future. Check back in with me next week, and thanks for watching Fabric Fridays with me, Mary Morningstar Johnson from Ruby and Violet Designs.